The man slammed on his brakes so hard the car skidded, stopping just inches from a small, broken shape in the road. His heart thudded as he stared. A cat lay there, her body crumpled and still, one leg twisted in a way that made his stomach turn. Her fur was dirty, matted, streaked with something dark. At first, he thought she was gone. But then her eyes fluttered weakly, dull yet somehow aware, and his breath caught. He jumped out, ignoring the blaring horns behind him. As he knelt, his hands trembled. Gently, he slid his hands under her fragile body. Suddenly, she let out the faintest sound, a thin, broken cry that shot straight through him. It wasn't just pain, it was a plea. He held her closer, shielding her from the traffic, already knowing he couldn't leave her there. He pushed through the clinic doors, clutching the limp cat against his chest. A receptionist looked up, startled, and called for the vet. In minutes, she was on the table, and he stood helpless, watching gloved hands move quickly over her tiny body. The vet's voice was quiet but heavy. Broken leg, internal bleeding, head trauma. Chances were slim. The man swallowed hard, his jaw tight. "Do what you can," he said firmly, sliding his credit card across the counter without asking the cost. Hours dragged on. He sat in the corner, shoulders hunched, eyes fixed on the door. Every so often, he thought he heard her weak cry echo in his ears, reminding him why he stayed. Exhausted but unmoving, he waited, willing her to fight just as hard as he was fighting for her. The door finally opened, and the vet stepped out, her face softer than the night before. "She made it," she said, almost in disbelief. The man's chest loosened as relief washed over him. He hurried into the recovery room, where the cat lay curled in a small cage, her breathing slow but steady. She looked fragile, but her eyes followed him. Then, to everyone's surprise, she lifted her head and stretched out her paw toward him, weak but certain. The room went quiet as he reached back, his fingers meeting hers through the bars. In that quiet, unexpected moment, it felt like she was telling him she wasn't giving up, and neither should he. Hope bloomed quietly between them. For weeks, he came every day, carrying small treats and sitting quietly by her cage. At first, she barely moved, her thin body resting as she healed. But slowly, she began to stand, then take a few shaky steps, her tail flicking as if testing the world again. Each visit, he spoke to her softly, and her eyes followed him more each time. One morning, when he opened the cage, she didn't hesitate. With a determined little limp, she stepped out and climbed straight into his lap, curling up and purring so faintly it broke him. Around them, the staff paused, watching with quiet smiles. In that moment, he knew he couldn't let her go. Stroking her fur, he whispered, "You're coming home with me," and for the first time, she closed her eyes and stayed. At home, she curled up beside him on the couch, her small paw resting gently on his hand as if claiming it. He watched her breathing, steady now, and thought about how one choice on that lonely road had changed everything. She had taught him more than he expected, about quiet strength, about trust when all seems lost, about how kindness can heal two lives at once. As she nestled closer, eyes closing in peace, he felt it clearly. What began in struggle had become something unbreakable, a bond neither of them would ever let go.